Hey, good morning. Welcome to Angry Bird. This is Tyler. It is the 18th of February. Still less than a month, and a lot of stuff is going on. Today, I want to talk about the lesson that I wish everybody could learn. One of the lessons, anyway. I mean, there's many, right? There's many. But one of the lessons I wish everyone could learn is a lesson that I learned from a man named Mark Flores. And he worked at Chuck E. Cheese. During my tenure, I served about 21 years there straight. And he was one of the executive vice presidents, and he went on to become the director of operations. And he's kind of a legend, in his own way. But he ran one of the most profitable, productive areas while he was around, and they rewarded him for it. At any rate, long story short, man, I was a shift manager, and I had a general manager, and he had his team, he had his ponies that were loyal to him. He was absolutely loyal to them. And what that meant for a guy like me is that they can pretty much do whatever the fuck they wanted. The GM wouldn't do anything about it, man. And so this guy named Mark Flores comes in, and he fucking sits me down, and I'm just pissed off, man. I'm just pissed because I can't get shit done, and my hands are tied because his ponies aren't doing it for me. I guess they're doing it for him, and that's all they need to do for the whole restaurant because everyone else, they don't have to work for. And so he sits me down, and he's just fucking sitting across from me. He's like, and he's listening to my story, and I'm ranting, man. And I'm just like, of course, because, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm one of those guys just trying to figure it out. And I figure if I'm telling people stuff, they would just listen because I'm in charge. If I tell people things, they would respond. And if we make rules, everyone would follow those rules, right? So that's kind of what my mindset was because I just did it, I just followed the rules, and I just, I didn't make waves, at that time. And so this guy sits me down, and he's just, and I'm ranting and ranting and ranting. And he's like, Ty, hold on, man. Hold on. He's like, why do dogs lick their balls? And I'm just like, I've never, I mean, if you know Mark, you've never heard this guy talk like this. That was the first time he went to a different level with me. And he took it down a layer, and he presented it like this. He's like, why do dogs lick their balls? And I'm just like, God, with dogs licking their balls? I don't know. He's like, well, think about it. Why did they lick their balls? I'm like, I don't know, man. Why do dogs lick their balls? And he told me because they can. Because they can, right? And I'm like, well, what, so? He's like, well, why do people come in late? I'm like, what? Because they can? He's like, why do people not do what you're asking them of them? Why are they not getting it done? I guess because they can. And so, like, he kind of got me to the point where my problem was accountability. My problem wasn't the people around me. Humans are humans. They behave in certain ways. I behaved how I was trained to behave, and it was different than how they were brought up and trained and how they expect or are expected to act and behave. We're from different families, different backgrounds, different views of life, and different goals of where we're working. So he kind of presented it in such a way to made me think like, oh, so I need to be like what? Writing people up. I might need to fire somebody. He even told me, he's like, have you fired anyone yet? And I'm like, no. He's like, well, I'm going to go tell your GM you're going to fire somebody in the next like 2 weeks. But before you do, you're going to write them up. Well, no. First, you're going to sit them down. Sorry. First, you're going to sit them down. You're going to tell them what the behavior is. And it needs to be a behavior. You can't say, I just don't like you because you have a bad attitude. It has to be a behavior, right? So he's like showing me how to focus on a behavior. And so I tunneled the behaviors, sat them down, wrote them up on the second one. And on the third one, most of them were in line by the third. But I did get to fire somebody. And I'm not saying I got to. They kind of fired themselves. It was plain as day. Even in the write-up, it was like, hey, man, if this keeps occurring, you will be fired. It's just that simple. We're not tolerating it. And they kept doing it. And it's like, well, we wrote you up, and then you did it, and now you're done. And that's how accountability works. So the reason why this matters is because there's people out there right now. There's people out there that are letting the dogs lick their balls. And they don't realize they're the ones that need to hold the people accountable. They keep looking around for someone else to stop it. And it's not up to somebody else. The reason why it matters is because our government is accountable to its citizens. And whatever they're doing, right or wrong, is because we have given them that power and we allowed it. We allow it. Because the moment we don't, we just take the power back. This is why that matters. When I've posted a couple different times, different things where I walk around and socialize, and it's just, that's the facts of it, is that accountability changes it. So when cheaters prosper and become billionaires, it encourages more people to cheat. More people cheat, it looks like that's the only way to be successful, then more people cheat and more people cheat, And I'm not saying everyone out there is cheating. I'm saying the laws are rigged in such a way that you could just go out there and openly take advantage of other people, and there's zero accountability for it. Zero. You could become president. There's no accountability. And that's the analogy you got to use. The reason why this is occurring is because we're allowing it. We're simply allowing it. We're letting it happen. We're the people that are supposed to hold them accountable. We're the ones that are supposed to say, hey, no. We warned you. We wrote you up. And now we're on your ass. And I wish everyone knew that. Because right now it's time to be on their ass. There's a guy in the back door breaking laws. There's a propaganda mechanism covering it up. They're calling it a mandate, even though how they won is super ridiculous how they won. Disinformation, hoodwinking voters. You know how many people would vote for him still today? Do you think he would even win? That's the point. The dog is licking his balls. It's up to us to cone that motherfucker and keep it from licking its balls. It's up to us to hold these people accountable and tell them, you're our government, actually. You're not dictating, we're dictating. We are dictating. Love y'all. Have a great day.